Greetings, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of TNCEAL Wellness Wednesday. I am Dr. Katherine Y. Brown, your host, and I am so excited that you joined today. Today is a very special episode because I'm about to introduce you to a powerhouse. Our guest is none other than Danielle King. Welcome, Danielle.
Thanks so much. Good to be here.
Yes, and I just want to say I really appreciate you taking time to be here because I know your schedule and I know everything that you are doing in the community. So for all of our viewers around the world who may not know you yet, tell us about your background and also include the work that you're doing as it relates to COVID-19.
Absolutely. So I work in community health. I'm a healthcare provider, and my specialty is in habits or our behaviors, the things that we do that either make us healthier or things that don't make us quite as healthy. And in regard to COVID, we've been working a lot on finding those communities where the need is the greatest, and then trying to find ways to meet those needs and make sure patients have access to care.
Absolutely. So now we're looking at this, and you could not tell us 2 years ago that we would still be dealing with COVID-19. But here's my question for you. What do you feel has been your secret to success in terms of maintaining balance? I mean, you have a personal life, but then you also have this work in the community. What has happened? I mean, how have you been impacted and how did you balance it?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think a couple of thoughts come to mind. One, and this is a big thing for me, is this idea of remembering the why of everything that we do. You know, we can become very overwhelmed with all of the to-do lists and all the details. But when we step back and say, okay, what's really important here and why are we doing this? It helps to energize you and keep you going.
Yeah, I love it. And, one of my favorite quotes is, life is why, family is why, the community is why. So, I mean, when we think about the lives that we lost, those are in some instances, parents whose children no longer have them, or grandparents whose grandchildren. It's just so many ways that this has impacted us and our community. So in your own words, what does community mean to you?
Yeah, I think at no other time in history do we realize how much the health of one person impacts the other, and this idea of us being united and really unified around this one need, this one area. So community to me means the people who have to rely on each other through really difficult times.
Absolutely. So we're in April 2022, right? What are you looking forward to as it relates to spring, which would kind of end, and summer? Like, what does it look like, particularly as it relates to health in our communities?
Yeah, well, I think all of us are really looking forward to brighter days, so to speak, and we're starting to see some of those things, some good numbers coming out. And also, I think the nicer weather is going to allow folks to get out of the house more and be in fresh air and not be so cooped up. So I think that's going to be great for our emotional health, especially.
Absolutely. So Danielle, what projects are you working on? I mean, that you want to share? How about that? Because your list of projects is extensive, but what projects are exciting that you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah. One program that we're really excited about is our ambassador program. And the idea behind this program is a recognition of how much we can't do as healthcare providers. In healthcare, we can talk to our patients, we can give information, but ultimately there are voices that people need to hear outside of our own. And so we really want to partner with the community and individuals in the community who are going to have influence on those around them. And so what we're doing with the ambassador program is we are recruiting folks who live in the neighborhood, who are connected with their neighbors, who can then speak to those needs. So in regard to the COVID pandemic, what we're doing is helping those ambassadors give them voice to speak to those around them about having access to care, access to vaccines. You know, some of our ambassadors are giving rides to their neighbors to get the vaccine. They're trying to promote helpful information so that people can make good decisions for themselves around COVID and prevention. So lots of good work that our ambassadors are doing. And really, again, this just comes back to this idea of healthcare providers. We really don't have as much influence as we'd like to. It comes down to people being able to speak to their neighbors, and we want to be a part of empowering them.
How did that program start? Because it's very innovative in your approach, but how did it get started? What was the idea?
Yeah, so, you know, programs like this are popping up around the country. And I think, again, it is this community-based idea that we are not the solution to all of our problems. We want to give voice to those people who can identify not only what the problem is, but the solution. And so those members of our community, who are pastors, business owners, folks who are just living life, they're going to be the ones who can speak to how we can solve the problems in front of us. And so that was kind of the idea there, is that we need to empower those who are going to have the most influence.
I love it. Now, how can people find out about this program and the work that you're doing? Because I suspect that people are getting really excited and they want to get connected with you and this program. So tell them how to find you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always contact me at Cherokee, also Lisa Moon at Cherokee. We are happy to give you information about the ambassador program. And if you want to become an ambassador, we'd love to tell you more about it and get you involved.
Are you all on social media, your website? What are some of those handles? And so give us some more ways. That's not going to be enough. I'm not letting you off the hook, Danielle. They need more ways to contact you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can always reach me through our website, CherokeeHealth.com, as well as calling the local office, which is also available on our website. And then you can also reach me via email, which is danielle.king@CherokeeHealth.com.
I think I'm getting happy, Danielle. You've given me a little more ways that they can stay connected with you. So here's my question. What else do you want to share? Is there anything else that people need to know about other things that you have going? Because that one was pretty exciting. Anything else?
Well, I think the biggest thing to remember is that through any time in history, but especially during a pandemic, access to care is one of the things that is just paramount and something that affects everyone. And so whoever you are, be thinking about how you can help your neighbor by promoting access to care, and your local community health center, wherever you are in the state of Tennessee, is going to be key in helping to meet those needs and reduce barriers to care.
I love it. So reducing barriers to care, connecting with community. I'm excited. I'm inspired. So this is the year 2022. So fast forward to 10 years and we're sitting around the table and we say, Danielle King, what do you want to be remembered for? What would that conversation sound like if we brought up the name Danielle King?
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope that I would be a fierce advocate for reducing barriers to care, addressing the needs of marginalized populations, and really being a good neighbor.
I love it. You all have heard it first. It's there. Danielle King is on the front line. She's been doing great work. She's giving you her contact information so you know how to find her via email, social media, and website. And I want you all to reach out to her because she really is doing great work. Danielle, thank you so much for being on today's episode of TNCEAL Wellness Wednesday. They have no idea how busy your schedule has been. So when I tell you I'm doing a little dance over here, I got Danielle King. I've got the amazing Danielle King. So listen, everyone, to our viewers around the world. Be sure to stay connected and come right back here next week for the next episode of TNCEAL Wellness Wednesday. You won't want to miss an episode. I want you to like, share, follow, repost, but stay connected, stay engaged, share this message, and stay healthy. Until next time, I am Dr. Katherine Y. Brown, your host. Thank you again, Danielle. Bye.